Welcome back, everyone. I'm Kalen, and we're jumping right back into issue 3 of Glory Hounds as we rejoin our heroes after they just gained access into the VIP section. I strut into the VIP area with all the bravado I can muster, Raoul following closely behind. We're very close to the catwalk now. No sign of Cameo yet, though I do spot some folks who obviously have more money to spend than I do, to put it lightly. Those must be the big fashion designers and their entourages. Lou would be able to pick these guys out of a crowd, but they all look the same to me. I have to say, I don't feel right about lying. You were the one who said we should pretend to be a part of the show. I know. Doesn't mean I can't feel bad about it afterwards. I doubt our charm and good looks alone would have gotten us in. No, we certainly did get our fair share of compliments from some of the guests. Still, a hero should uphold the virtues of truth and justice. I agree with Duskhound. Ah! My heart nearly jumps out of my chest as I turn around to face Milo. And how does he always catch me by surprise? I haven't witnessed this kind of stealth since my childhood days of slinking into the kitchen to pilfer snacks at night. Why do you guys always sneak up on me? The crowd doesn't even acknowledge my outburst. White lies are sometimes necessary to uphold cover, correct? If you put it that way. It's for a good cause, Dawnhound. Milo, when's the show starting? He checks his wrist. When he remembers he's not wearing a watch, or any clothes at all, in fact, he sighs. I do not know exact time. Should be any minute now, though. I'm willing to bet he'll try to use it as a distraction to enact his scheme. We should be at the ready. The last couple of words that leave his mouth are drowned out by music blaring over the speakers next to the stage. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone outside the binary and in between. Are you ready? The crowd roars. Welcome, one and all, to the Bonds Through Bondage event, where Raoul checks his tracker. I take a peek over his shoulder. He's very close. Unfortunately, the crowd's gotten a bit thicker, with all manner of folks including the Okapi from earlier gathering near the catwalk. Almost all of them are carrying large, weird bags. I don't know how I'm gonna find Kaboom. Come on, showtime. I'm grabbed from behind. When I turn my head, I see it's the butterfly from earlier, the one at the gate. Wait, but You're a model, right? Come on, the show's about to start. The Pain and Purple collection's up first. He pushes me up to the edge of the catwalk, through the crowd. The models have already started walking, and I see the butterfly count down before he gives me a prod and urges me to climb up. I'm left with no other option, and no help from Raoul or Milo. I do. I feel my cheeks and body burn under all these spotlights. Hundreds, if not thousands of eyes drilling into me. Just as many cameras pointing right at me. I look around the crowd in the VIP section. I spot Raoul and Milo immediately. Give him hell, Spot! Easy for you to say. You're not the one having to do this. I notice one person standing at the very edge of the VIP crowd. He blends in with the environment, and when he spots me, he seems to almost dive out of my line of sight. I stop in my tracks. There's no doubt about it, it's Kablooey. And the model behind me, a tall, handsome rabbit, walks right into me. A nearby marten and fish stop in their tracks as well. What are you doing, kid? Come on, keep walking. That's him! I point at the chameleon. Milo and Raoul notice too. Clear that way! That man's a thief! So then I said, I ain't mucking around. Oh man, I'd have loved to see the look on his face after. It was priceless. What you watching over there, Willem? Was he doing Willem voice or Charlene voice? There's this fashion show going on at the new convention center. Thought I'd tune in. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone outside the binary and in between, are you ready? Oh, it looks like we're just in time for the show to start. Is this one of them drag shows I've heard you talking about? Not quite. I don't know what's the best way to put it. Lou? Think of it as a costume show themed more towards... well, you'll see. Looks like the models are lining up on the stage. Oh. This show is all about lots of different kinds of... bondage gear. I never imagined you could wear harnesses like that. And they certainly ain't wearing much else underneath. Ha! Not unlike half the people in here tonight. Yeah, well, if you think it's really just about... Hold the phone! That guy with the spots looks familiar. Oi, is that Al up there? Oh no. Alex is up there. It could be anyone. Why did I do that voice? Hold on. It could be anyone. Clear the way! That man's a thief! Anyone. Dear Lord, that is him! What's he doing? Hold on, is that Ray from earlier over there? Lou, do you reckon you know what's going on? I promise not to. Fine. So, apparently it started with... The crowd in the VIP section parts with a cacophony of gasps and yells. It's absolute chaos. A perfect opportunity to give chase. I jump off the catwalk. I can't see him. Where'd he go? Tracker says he went that way. The backstage area. Milo, where does that lead? It leads to stairwell. He is most likely trying to escape from roof. Not if we can help it. As we run up to it, the door to the backstage area opens, and then closes, clicking shut all on its own. I can only just stop myself from slamming into it. Did you just see that? This isn't an automatic door, is it? It's like he turned invisible. Incredible. I've never seen anything like that in my life. It's like the Stinger issue 56, Revenge of the Invisible Iguana Man. If I recall correctly, the Stinger ended up losing that fight. Well, let's hope we don't end up following his example. I don't suppose there's another set of stairs we could take. That'd cost us what precious little time we have. We have none to lose as it is. Stand back. Before I can protest, he lifts his leg and stomps the door. Something cracks and the door slips open again. I wonder if we'll ever get through a mission without Raoul smashing something. My money's on no. I hear someone yell as equipment clatters to the floor in front of us. Camus flickers into view. having seemingly almost tripped over a mannequin. So he was invisible. Long time no see, Bluey. Camo, it's Camo. Yeah. What do you think you're doing here? We want the money talks gown back, you long-tongued scoundrel. I'm afraid I can't do that. I have great plans for it, you see. I don't care what kind of fashion statement you're trying to make. You're nothing but a common crook. An unremarkable thug who thinks himself a mastermind. The chameleon's big eyes get even bigger, and then he squints. Common? Unremarkable? Seems to have struck a nerve. You sniveling hounds have no idea what about the hardships I've faced. Unremarkable, you say? Unremarkable! Try invisible, to not be seen or recognized by those around you. Is this a low self-esteem issue, or... Low self-esteem doesn't give you the right to go and take things that aren't yours. I was not speaking metaphorically, you absolute incompetent ignoramus. The chameleon seems to shimmer for a second before starting to fade. Wait, he's gone? And the boss and I look around frantically. Where? This ability, this curse. Whoa, that's coming from behind us. I aim my grappling hook at the sound reflexively. How did he... All my life, all I'd ever done was blend in. It comes rather naturally to us chameleons, as I'm sure even someone as witless as you knows. Not even dear mother and father seemed to see me. They were always too occupied running their company, only ever talking to me when I was ruining their perfect image. They weren't even present when I took my first steps, or my first day of school. They left me standing in the pouring rain. I had all the money I could ever need, all the toys, but I needed a family, and I had none. The voice quiets down. So I took up sewing in my free time, perhaps hoping that if I made something pretty enough, that if I accomplished enough, they would finally see me. That anyone would. And then one day it happened. I was at the school Christmas gala, determined to show off my best work in front of my entire class. I had spent weeks on that outfit. I was ready. And I stepped out onto the podium where I was struck by sudden nausea. Perhaps it was the bright lights. Perhaps that night's caviar had not agreed with me. My ears were ringing, but I could make out the cries of, "Where did he go? And what's happening?" And lo and behold, when I opened my eyes, I discovered I could no longer see my eyelids, or my hands. Even the clothes I had spent such a long time making had vanished. This accursed gift awoke at the worst possible time. Could you imagine? Invisible. Someone as glorious as myself. I stayed like that for 2 whole days, unable to see myself even in a mirror. Our family doctor didn't know what to do with me. Hospitals ran tests but found nothing. To this day, I do not know how or why it happened. But father, mother, they called me sick. They called me a freak. A disgrace to the family name. I had never gotten their attention before, but for this, they disowned me. I was destitute, left to fend for myself with nothing to my name but our smallest mansion, its staff at a paltry 500,000 euros. You call that paltry? I do. Obviously, I was desperate. I had to take what I could, the consequences be damned. A plebeian such as yourself wouldn't understand. Make your point already. Was this when you decided to take to stealing from the innocent? So impatient. Believe me, I tried to make an honest living. I went to the greatest fashion houses in Europa, talked to the greatest minds in fashion history, asking, nay, begging for the tiniest sliver of recognition. I showed them my finest work, spared my soul to them. I thought I had finally met kindred spirits, but it did not last. The designs I had spent countless hours poring over were stolen, put on display without so much as even a mention or a footnote in the magazines. When I spoke up, they only silenced me, smeared me. I was at my wit's end. And so, to put it in terms even you simpletons can understand, I figured that if the universe deemed it deemed it necessary to curse me, I might as well make use of it, It took some time, but eventually I learned to control my new ability. The nausea became tolerable. I still loathe to use it, but being invisible has its perks. I can slip into an establishment unseen, take what I need, and someone more visible than I can take the fall with no one getting any the wiser. My faithful helpers are my kindred spirits now. So you're not working alone. You can't very well expect me to partake in great heists on my own. Why, I thought I might break a nail. There will always be people as hungry for money and recognition as I am, eager to help me attain my goals. Our mutual friend Ahab was one of them. A remarkably stupid one. He never had a vision as grand as I did. And what would that be? To turn only the most beautiful things into fashion items that will make me a star. I will be seen metaphorically or otherwise. The world will know the name Camo. And you had best not forget it either. The world will know you for the fraud and thief you truly are. See, the only ones here that know what I've done are you two. And I don't intend to leave you alive much longer if I can help it. Try us. You'll find we're hard to kill. I'm definitely not. I would, but this is not my arena of choice. If you want the gown, or what's left of it, you'll have to find me further in. What's left of it? I had to rid myself of some dead weight carrying it in here. The fake Euro bills had to go. You took it apart? Wait, those were fake bills? Most of the Money Talks gown values lies in its diamond-encrusted bodice. I needed the diamonds, not some artist's vague political statement on capitalism. So, why did you come here? To add something else to your collection? Me? Steal something from here? Heavens no, I just came to have a good time. My entourage already took care of the stealing. How? This place was under lock and key. Who do you think owns said lock and key, my dearest Dalmatian? Who do you think organized this event to begin with? You didn't. Oh, I absolutely did. It took years of planning, but once I'd set the thing up, called the right people, it was like taking candy from a baby. Or like taking the Money Talks gown from Ahab. What's there to steal at a fashion event you're running? And why would you even host one in the first place? Still haven't caught on, I see. I wouldn't deign to painstakingly track down everyone who wronged me when instead... A dark chuckle echoes through the room. I can just make them come to me. I can breathe in all the fame and adoration that has been withheld from me for so long. He reappears inches away from my face. Before I can nab him, he's gone again, reappearing by the door seconds later. While my associates take all the things they can get their hands on from all the designers collaborating on the show, and all the guests. Wallets, jewels, gowns, priceless fashion artifacts. Not to mention the ticket sales are making me a pretty penny as well. He shrugs his shoulders, shaking his head dramatically. A movement I get the impression he's rehearsed in front of a mirror. Market something as the most exclusive event of the year, and people will come running, it seems. He scoffs. Not a single one even remembered my face tonight. But that's all right. They will soon enough. Everyone who once ignored me, the public, the other designers, they'll rue the day. I will leave them with nothing. They're gonna find out you duped them eventually. My involvement is a secret that will die with you. By the time the dust settles, I'll be far away from Batavia, making fashion history. Now, I'm afraid I must be taking my leave. My flight's about to depart, you see. Toodles. Caboose, get back here! That's how we ended up running up these never-ending stairs. And boy, does this make me regret skipping out on cardio these past many years. My glutes already weren't doing so hot after last night's activities, but this... This is torture. I tap my earpiece. Milo? Yes. Are we almost there? No. What about halfway there? Not quite. I take a second to breathe. Rule running up ahead of me. Come on, Spot. It's only a couple dozen floors. The boss's excitement is, unfortunately, not contagious. In fact, I'm sure I'll pass out if I need to climb up even one more floor. Actually, can we just skip this? Skip what? These blasted stairs. This is technically still my flashback, so why don't we just fast forward a bit? My legs can use some mercy. I don't understand what you're getting at. Flashback? What do you mean by flash? I snap my fingers. Oh. And so we are, once again, standing face to face with the target. Well, there you are, you treacherous snake. You won't get away this time. I have to admit, I'm surprised you'd be foolish enough to follow me all the way up here. Of course, judging by your fashion sense, making bad choices seems to come rather naturally to you. Give it up, villain. You've nowhere left to run. Alright, this is the moment Milo's been training me for. I assume the position. Shoulders straight, arms outstretched, index finger pointed at the culprit. Just like they do it in the movies. Hand over those diamonds right now, What was your name again? You cannot possibly be serious. You spent all this time prattling on about what led you here, and you still can't remember? Look, it even says my name on the screen right now. Look, right down there. A screen? What screen? Just summon your little friends and let's get this over with. Alright, fine. Minions, rise! Sure enough, there's the butterflies. I recognize a couple of them as the waiters from the show. No! And that's how it all started. As for how it's going, well... To action! The butterflies dive at us one by one in perfect formation. I realized right away these henchmen are in a different league compared to Ahab's bumbling crew. They're coordinated, not a single movement wasted. And their swords are absolutely massive. One hit from those and I'm toast. Or finely sliced ham. Form up, back to back. Don't let them catch you from behind. Dawn Hounds, sir. Plan? Divide and conquer. Divide? I can't even take one of these guys. Where did he even find them? I know you can, Spot. Now dive! He runs away from my location, and so, staring up at the point of a sharp sword coming straight at me, I dive the other way. The first butterfly misses me by a hair, crashing into the metal door that leads to the stairwell. That's gotta hurt. The second one does turn in time to chase me down. He's hot on my heels. I attempt to run, but my legs are about to give way. There's barely any feeling left in them. Thanks, Ahab. Thanks, stairs. Ah! I lose my footing and crash to the ground, arms scraped by the gravel. The tip of the sword is inches away from my face, and as I expect to be impaled. Halt! I hear a zip of a grappling hook before I see Raoul's foot hit the butterfly's face hard from the side. The sword falls to the ground. The butterfly follows. I think it's about time for you to fly the coop. No, that doesn't sound right. I'll have to workshop that some more one-liners when we get back to base. He pulls me up. Thank you. That was amazing. Don't celebrate yet, Duskhound. We still have to take care of the rest. The chameleon chuckles. Don't think for a second this is going to be easy, you sniveling mutts. He snaps his fingers and the 4 remaining butterflies change formation. They look like they mean business. The boss and I stand back to back as they circle us slowly, swords pointed right at us. End them, my minions! They start closing in on us. I feel like I have seconds left to live. So, any bright ideas? They've got us surrounded. Huh. We have them right where we want them. Huh? I know I'm new at this, but I don't see how. Follow my lead. I can't even finish my thought as Raoul takes my hands and starts spinning us in place, faster and faster. The henchmen move in, ready to strike. What are we doing? On the count of 3, jump! Wait, what? 1, 2, 3. And before I can process what's happening, my feet leave the ground and I think I know what Raoul is thinking. My heart is beating like crazy. Everything feels like it's moving in slow motion. Okay, focus, Alex. I zero in on the butterflies moving towards us. As I'm being swung with terrifying speed, I take aim and ready for a kick. Dawn Tornado! Somehow I managed to avoid throwing up and avoid getting skewered on our enemy's blades. I managed to hit 3 of them back to back, knocking them flat on their asses. The 4th one barely manages to duck in time. Raoul slows down his spin and my feet touch solid ground once more. I'm still in a daze, but the Rottweiler doesn't miss a beat and uses the leftover momentum to wind up for a finishing blow. And lights out! He says it right as he lands a massive clothesline, sending the final henchman flying into a nearby wall. Or at least I think that's what happens. My world's still topsy-turvy. All I hear is a deafening crash and the sound of metal landing on gravel. Oh, this is way better than a fashion show. Now all that's left is the final boss. I slowly come back to my senses. Right. Where is he anyway? We look around frantically, but he's nowhere to be seen. We've dealt with your lackeys, Kamo. Now show yours. Raoul's eyes suddenly go wide, then close. His body goes limp, collapsing to the floor. Hound! I feel a rush of cold air right next to my head and instinctively dodge out of the way. Whatever it is, it hits the ground like a crack of a whip. Gravel flies through the air as Kamo reveals himself. His eyes are wild, focused only on me. Do you know what's so peculiar about the tongue of a chameleon, Hound? He leans back, and his tongue retracts. I hear him chuckling as he flickers in and out of my view. We can extend them from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1/100th of a second. Can you imagine what speed and force like that would do to you? I don't want to find out. I certainly can. So that's it. Do you really want to steal things so bad you're willing to kill me for it? You don't know what it's like to be ignored, forgotten, different. They've taken everything from me. Why should I not be allowed to do the same? I do know what it's like. He takes a swing at me, one I block with my forearm. From the corner of my eye, I look at Raoul. He isn't moving. All my life, I've been different. Up until a week ago, I didn't even know what I wanted to do or who I wanted to be. But there were people who helped me out and showed me I could change. Be better. You're just an ignorant child. He goes invisible again. Raven 3, what's his status? I cannot get read on target. I hear the crunch of gravel, and I dive out of the way as another invisible force impacts inches away from me, grazing my arm. It stings. I take a random swing, but I only catch air. He reappears a few meters in front of me. He starts shimmering again, but instead of disappearing, he simply changes color. You think you're so special? Look at me, I'm a dumb pooch who can't even dress right, much less fight. What the? And I'm gonna slobber my way to victory. Stop that. Stop that. This guy is pissing me off. Enough. I get ready to take out my grappling gun and aim. I don't even have time for that as he disappears again. As if I'd let you. Some gravel flies up and I try to predict if he's going to hit me from up close or from a distance. There's so much going on I can barely focus. He hits me again and I stagger forward. However, there is something. I catch a faint scent that stands out. Something vaguely floral. Hibiscus. Like the card. The briefest of moments later and the smell intensifies. It's coming from my left. I put my arms up to guard and I manage to protect my head. How did you do that? The chameleon's silhouette becomes solid. He glares at me with contempt. He vanishes before I can answer. I remember Milo's training. About everyone having strengths and weaknesses. Maybe my nose is the key to beating Kamo. I can tell he's moving slowly. Next attack will be a big one. The smell of hibiscus changes subtly. There! I catch his fist with my elbow. I stretch out my arm and strike his face with the back of my hand. Ah! This can't be. How could you have seen my attack? I take a slow breath. I didn't. I get into a defensive stance for his next assault. I don't know how much longer I can last. I want to take him out as fast as I can. He's quick and he moves almost silently, but he can't mask his scent. I've got him beat in strength, If I can land a few solid hits, I'll have him on the ropes. I see how it is. Fine, so be it. Once again, he's gone. I try to sniff him out, but the sense of hibiscus grows weaker and weaker. I take another swing, but there's nothing there. Shit, he figured it out. Probably keeping his distance now. Well, two can play at that game. Maybe I can use my grappling gun somehow. I dodge backwards, his next strike missing my leg by the tiniest margin and hitting the gravel at my feet. The attacks just keep coming. I can't grab the grappling gun if I'm stuck to having to avoid him. At a certain point, I try to step back once more, only to find nothing there. Without realizing it, I've scurried to the edge of the roof. He's got me right where he wants me. Raven 3, help! I close my eyes, praying to all the deities I know the name of that somehow Raoul will wake up. That somehow Milo will burst through that door. Thus count. End of the line, dog. The chameleon flickers back into my field of view right as his tongue hits my chest like a bullet. And I fall right over the edge. A freezing wind rushes past me. It's deafening howl, all that I hear as I attempt to stop myself any way I can. My stomach's in my throat, and my heart's pounding. I shoot the grappling gun at the roof, but it doesn't reach. Its cord falls, as do I. I'm not getting out of this. After all the fucking dumb luck it's taken to get this far, this is it. Fuck. For a moment, time stands still. In that moment, suspended in midair, I think of Lou. As the rooftop grows more distant, I think of Willem. I think of Dad. I think of Mom. Raoul. Milo. My vision gets blurry. I don't want to die. Please don't let me die. Don't let me die. Dad. Mom. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Cliffhanger. Thanks for watching. See you next time.